I'm worried about WWE's
thought a
Rhea
lot about what
Ripley
you had
in
to
this
say
video. I'm
last
going to tell you
week.
exactly why I'm worried about her and why I think you should as well. Look, Rhea Ripley, a once highly popular babyface in WWE, has recently shown some signs of a potential heel turn, raising questions about WWE's long-term plans. While it's unclear if this is a deliberate strategy leading into WrestleMania 41, her recent booking suggests a shift in her character, or at least one that is coming. I think it's fair to say that Rhea Ripley's popularity has declined following a prolonged feud with Liv Morgan in 2024 into 2025, which became repetitive and lacked character development for both women. Rhea's dominant wins and protected defeats were stale, and after losing the Women's World Championship to Io Sky earlier this month, Rhea Ripley's personality began to change, moving from a cool heel persona to an unlikable and kind of immature character. Now, since her loss to Io Sky, Rhea Ripley has displayed childish behavior, acting like a sore loser. She was reprimanded by Raw GM Adam Pearce and attempted to force her way into the WrestleMania 41 title match between Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Her loss to Sky attributed to a distraction from Bianca Belair, and Bianca was sitting at ringside. Now, this was initially framed as a learning experience, but Rhea quickly reverted it to a whining and making excuses type situation. Her interactions with Sky and Belair and her interruption in their contract signing on the March 17th episode of Monday Night Raw, well, it just portrayed her from being a cool heel and a butt kicker to a immature and lacking that awesome aura in which she previously had. Now, look, her actions, including stealing and signing the contract, were met with reprimands from Pearce, further highlighting her childish behavior. Now, keep in mind that she's still not been added to that match. More on that in a minute. Now, whether this character shift is deliberate as a heel turn or just a misjudgment by WWE management remains to be clear. However, Rhea Ripley's actions are increasingly alienating her fan base, a loyal fan base at that, and she is dangerously close to being perceived as a heel. While a heel would be a significant change given her recent babyface run, it could help, boost her character away from where she was kind of bland to where WWE needs to go. At the end of the day, WWE needs to clarify her direction to avoid confusion among fans leading into WrestleMania 41. If you want to break this down, let's back it up a minute. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley had a near year-long run together in a feud. Ultimately, Rhea Ripley going over Liv Morgan on the Raw Netflix premiere episode of January 6th. This was a significant moment in Rhea Ripley's career, signifying that she was once back on top of the Raw Women's division. She was a top babyface on that brand, but we knew that WWE had some issues in regards to what's next, because the Raw Women's division wasn't very good. Now, they did make some pivot moves, bringing in Bayley, and obviously booking the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Now, shortly after beating Liv Morgan, Rhea went into a safeguard, a safe feud, if you will, with Nia Jax, beating her at Saturday night's main event. Then she had to wait, and she had to wait for the Women's Elimination Chamber match to play out. Now, she had some very interesting potential candidates to go up against. She had Bayley, Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and others. But at the end of the day, it was Bianca Belair, SmackDown talent, who ended up winning that match, earning the shot to challenge for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 41. It seemed like a foregone conclusion that we were going to get Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, a match in which both talents have advocated for publicly and behind the scenes, a match in which WWE fans want to see. It's a match in which we've not seen in a one-on-one program between these two since their NXT days, on television at least. Now, they worked a dark match at a SmackDown a couple years ago, but I don't count that. This was a dream match, if you will. Two talents that are in their prime and at the height of their popularities going at it at WrestleMania for a title. Well, you couldn't ask for any much better than that. Ultimately, though, WWE opted to pivot, and they put the belt on Io Sky, who went over in a shocking conclusion over Rhea Ripley on an episode of Monday Night Raw in the main event. Now, it was a significant moment for both talents. One, they got to headline Monday Night Raw. And number two, it put the title on Io Sky. But you knew Rhea Ripley, one of WWE's biggest stars, was not going to be missing WrestleMania. Certainly not this WrestleMania, considering the year that she went through in 2024 and the drawability in which she has. But ever since she won the title from Liv Morgan on January 6th, things were different. They weren't the same that they were when she initially had to vacate the championship in 2024 due to an injury. Things weren't the same as when she was feuding with Liv Morgan. I think WWE drawing out the Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley feud, I think it actually stalled out the Rhea Ripley character more than helped it. Now, look, I enjoyed the feud, but a lot of people thought it was just really, really extended to the point where there was nothing left on the bone. And by the time that they ended it, it was, oh, thank God, that's over, instead of, holy crap, can you imagine what else they could have done? Or that was a brilliant ending. Now we go into WrestleMania, and WWE has to somehow, some way get Rhea Ripley into this title program. What I think is hilarious is WWE had a very simple and logical way of getting Rhea in the match, yet they opted not to do so. Now, I don't know if it's because they just want to swerve you, bro, or try to make things way too complicated and interesting. I don't know what the case is. I say that because you can try to make something very interesting, yet it becomes just confusing, over the top, and doesn't make a lot of sense. I think that's what happened here. A simple explanation as to why Rhea Ripley is in this feud, and to really help her character out even more, instead of making the excuses, instead of acting like a child, instead of really going heel, is simple. She was a champion. All champions have a championship rematch clause in their contracts, and you have her just be added into the triple threat. You can go and you can have Adam Pearce come out and go, look, Bianca Belair is the number one contender for the title. She has earned a shot to challenge Io Sky for the women's title at WrestleMania. Can't get around that, won't get around that. We're going with that. However, because this contract states that the champion gets a rematch of their choosing against the opponent at any time that they want, well, she's opted to do it and not screw over Bianca because she has too much respect for her. Therefore, she's going to make it a triple threat. She's going to take her chances from 50% to 33% of winning the match. And I think that way you protect Bianca, you protect Io, and you protect Rhea. Instead, they just went over the top and really made things confusing and unnecessary. And that's where we are right now. But I'm concerned about Rhea Ripley. I'm worried about going from a very popular babyface to now a stale babyface to potentially a heel. And that's a shame considering all the hard work that she put into her career in 2024.